Hey, what is up there, guys, and welcome back to a brand new episode of The Evolve. How you guys doing on today? You know what? I'm doing all right. Today, I want to talk a little bit about Royce the 5'9", because recently he sat down with The Level and he talked about his new album. Now, with his new album about to come out, Royce, he had been making his rounds. His new album is set for February the 20th, and there is also a track list of 22 tracks on this album. So he's been making his rounds to the different interviews. Now, there are a few things that he talked about with regards to racism, with regards to his album, and a few things that I want to talk to you all about, and just to see how you all feel about some of his comments. And he also talks about Eminem and what we should expect, because apparently Eminem, he hit on racism with regards inside of hip-hop and some of his upbringing. So let's just get right into it. So the first thing during this interview, they asked him about racism, because with regards to Large Jamar and Nick Cannon and a lot of different things that have been happening here in hip-hop, racism seems to be at the very core. It seemed to be a lot more race baiting than ever inside of hip-hop. So Royce, he goes to say, we need to start being okay with not agreeing on everything. It's all right to not agree. It's even all right to be racist. I'm not the racism police. You know, I'm very aware that I have to guard my energy. I can't put myself in positions where I'm getting upset all the time at the way somebody views me. The only thing that I demand is respect. It is. I can have dinner with a racist person as long as you're not disrespecting me. People just get so uptight when you want to start talking about the tough topics. Everybody's ignoring it is not going to make it go away. Now, you know, some may feel a certain way about what Royce have said with regards it's all right to be racist. And when I look at his statements and the actual core of everything that he's saying, I don't exactly feel that he is talking about that racism is good. But I think he's talking more on the individual level, more on it's not what I do, it's not what you do or say to me, it's what I do and how I react and what I say to you. I think Royce is more talking about that, you know, people are going to be racist. People are going to be set in their own ways and they're going to do things to you. It's not my job anymore to try to police, you know, everyone. You know, I may not agree with it, but as long as, you know, you don't affect my individual rights, you have your own individual rights. And if that's your choice to be that racist, conniving, manipulating person, then that's your choice. He talks a little bit more because in this one, in this clip, he's actually interviewing with the DJ Small Eyes, and he is asked a little bit about what does he prefer more, to be a individual artist, a solo artist, or like a group, because he has been in his share amount of groups, from Slaughterhouse to his individual stuff to his group with DJ Premier. So they asked him a little bit about that, and he does mention that Eminem is not a rapper. Instead, he's something else. Let's play the clip.
I don't know if I prefer one over the other. I mean, they all are dope in different ways. You know, Slaughterhouse, they all fun. You know, Slaughterhouse, I got to do a little more work. When I'm working with Marshall, I don't have to do as much work. When I'm working with Preem, I still don't have to do as much work, you know, because he's going to make all the beats.
That's what DJ Premier.
He's going to mix everything. I get a little meticulous when it comes to approving mixes. But outside of that, all I really got to do is rap in those two situations. So that's one of the things that makes that makes those two situations. It makes me look forward to doing them.
Okay.
Now the slaughterhouse thing, it's an interesting situation because it's something that we built. It's something that we built that people didn't believe in. Some people didn't believe in, so it's always sweeter being in that kind of situation. So it's more of us. There's other rappers, more than just one other rapper. Em ain't even a rapper no more. Em's not a rapper no more. He's like a superhero. But there's other rappers, and we used to have a lot of fun because there's so many of us. And then back when we were doing it, we were all drinking. So, we all, after about 10 or 11 o'clock, we all turned into comedians in our own little way. So, you know what I mean? So it was just fun. It was fun working on it. But I don't know if I could say that I prefer one over the other. All of them just, they served me in different ways. All of the different situations served me in different ways. I enjoy doing all of them.
So you did next, Royce, he runs down a little bit more about the racism, and he talks a little bit more about the role that Eminem is playing on the album. He says that, with Eminem's part on the album, it's not really a song, it's not really him rapping, but instead, he's just rapping. Not rapping in a way of bars and lyrics, but rapping knowledge. It's kind of like a intro of he and M was just sitting down, and M was start to reminisce about him growing up through the racism and how it has made a full circle. Actually, this is what he said. Royce speaks. He said, how it all came about was we were on the phone and we were talking about growing up. See, a lot of people think that he's from a trailer park. He's from Detroit. He grew up in the hood around black people. We talk all the time about how tough it was. Him being white and into hip hop and black people thinking he's trying to act black. They used to beat him up all the time. Just jump him. He couldn't understand why. It wasn't until he met Proof, and Proof took a liking to him and started vouching for him, that he got accepted at the hip hop shop. I talked to him about a lot of things that I went through in Oak Park and the racism that happened to me and started when I was young and didn't understand. We both came to a very clear understanding. I feel like God put him in my life to teach me that it's not cool to generalize, because if it wasn't for Marshall Mathers, I don't think I would like whites. And on the flip side, if it wasn't for Proof, I don't think he would have liked black people. He assumed black people didn't like him because they used to beat him up. God placed people in your life for a particular reason. Marshall restored my faith in people. It's not really about converting people. It's just about gaining a understanding. So then Royce, he goes further on and he talks a little bit more about what M does on this album. He says that it's just basically Eminem's perspective. And this is what he goes to say. On perspective, he said so many beautiful things. He does this all the time. Man, he does this all the time. We'll be talking and he'll drop so much knowledge. This particular time, I was like, if I send you a beat, can you talk on it, express some things? The phone conversation was way better. When I sent the beat, he talked for like 12 minutes. We edited down a lot of the album excerpts and like that are there for you to know that somebody has that perspective. It's not necessarily my perspective. I think the main point that M was trying to make is that hip-hop brings people together. And I 100% agree. I just don't think we utilize it as much as we can. I don't think it's a big kumbaya party in hip-hop where everybody's there. Hip-hop can be that bridge. You got great men, you know, you got great men and real leaders. They're trying to touch the hip-hop artist platforms to get them to understand that we're the new leaders, the people that kids are gonna listen to. So that was a little bit more about, you know, Royce talking about Eminem's perspective and kind of what we can be looking for as far as with him talking. He did go on, I'll put the link on the level if you want to listen and you want to read up on the full interview, because he does go and talk a little bit more about how Eminem, you know, it's super emotional and super, you know, it's super deep, because the world and the general public is going to really get to see, you know, kind of Eminem's perspective, what you don't usually hear, you know, him talking about how he actually feel about racism and how hip-hop and him really trying to grow up in this. Well, there, guys, that's about it for this video. I just really want to, Royce da 5'9", his album, it looks to be very promising. You know, Royce, he's always been a lyricist himself, and he's always been down to earth, straight to the point. And I look for his album to be just like he is, down to earth, straight to the point, a reach for something greater than oneself. And I think them are sometimes some of the best artists, some of the best singers, some of the best rappers that rap not just content or storytelling for the sake of storytelling, but their words and the very content and what they speak, you know, out of their voice, you know, through their words, they give you this sense of belonging, this sense of attachment, this sense that, man, I can do better, that, you know, I made it and I'm stronger, and if I only endure. So, and Royce always have done a really good job with, you know, bringing forth lyrics that make you want to do better, make you want to understand. It makes you feel a certain amount of emotion. So I look forward to his new album on next week. I'd like to know what you all think about the interview. But, you know, really, I want to know what you all thought about his perspective on racism when he stated earlier in this video that, hey, it's okay to be racist. Did you all think that I hit it kind of on the nail, or what do you all think he was saying? I'd like to know. Other than that, there, guys, I thank you all for watching. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. As always, KIP, keep it positive. I'll see y'all next video. All right, later. Peace.